first time, to be honest, I know very little. So I'm going in blind, and I think that's good because
I'll clue you in. I don't mind.
Well, I think people bust their balls a little bit, and I like that I won't have any of their external interference now.
True.
Where I'm going to get to just gauge who you are.
Sure. I'm going to tell you something funny and serious at the same time. I got busted for crime. I'd rather not say that. But I was on house arrest for about 8 months. I had to, there's different kinds of house arrest. But because I was on house arrest, I wasn't allowed to leave. And as such, I was on the show, and then I had to be off for about 8 months. And now the house arrest is now I have to be home at 10 p.m. And fans are like, oh, good, we get to see Adam again. So I attract a lot of attention.
What were you? Yeah, and this is all part of the lore. Everyone's aware of.
Well, the fans are aware of his house arrest. I don't want to go into
details of what happened. It was a little fraud charge, but that's not important.
What kind of fraud?
Okay,
I know you said you don't want to get into it.
I'm going to say this once only. I got sent to get the contents of an envelope, which turned out to have $2,000, which was money that somebody owed for buying marijuana. So it wasn't really fraud. It was extortion, blackmail. It was the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me in my whole life.
Criminal.
The judge conceded. Listen, the guy's not going to go around extorting a guy because there were some text messages sent. I pled guilty to accessory to extortion. It was only house arrest.
Never plead guilty. That's your first mistake.
I didn't have $10,000 to go to court, to go to trial. I had a chance to win, but that's the problem with the law.
You're gonna have to slow down a little bit here for me to be able to keep up with you. So you're throwing a lot of felonies.
Sorry. Okay.
You're throwing a lot of words out there. Hang on, but you're throwing You're throwing several words out.
Right.
All of which are a felony. I think you said extortion.
Right.
You said marijuana. I'm assuming this is at a time when it was illegal. So you got narcotics, you've got fraud. That's three that I can remember.
They threw it all into one charge, just extortion. What I did essentially in the eyes of the law. So I'll be brief, okay? A guy says, I don't want to deal with this woman. She's my ex-girlfriend. She's got an envelope for you, right? He sold a little bit of marijuana, right? A little bit of weed, right? He sent me because the story is he didn't want me to deal with this. He did not want to deal with this woman. So he sent me. She's going to be at the General Hospital downtown. Meet her at this place at this time. This is what she looks like. She has an envelope for you. Say no more.
Who is this person?
Don't ask. It's a guy that's out of my life. He's a real prick. He set me up.
Yeah, sound. Yeah.
Anyway,
he's already said this on the show. You've already said this story 3 times.
Yeah, but not in this level of detail.
You did. You said more detail. You talked about the police officer throwing you down. You did way more detail.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't know.
But it's okay. He doesn't know, so it's good to
I
brief
was
him.
only using this as a reference because when I was on the show before this shit happened, I drew a lot of attention to the show. We had a lot of viewers, and it was all funny.
Yeah.
When the house arrest happened for 8 months, I couldn't leave my home, so I had to be off the show for 8 months. I mean, it would be called
at which point Guido Grasso stepped in.
No,
we were both on.
Guido Grasso and Poseidon are the original intellectuals. Okay, and then the team got bigger. They added Claudio Capri, who makes sporadic appearances, and Adam, who's become a regular. He's normally a third mic.
I understand.
But then there was a falling out with Guido Grasso, and since Guido Grasso has been pushed aside,
I got bumped up.
He got bumped up to co-host, and Guido Grasso, we cannot track him down anymore.
You're moving up in the world, Adam.
He's moving up in the world.
So
now, while Poseidon is in Italy, I'm going to inform the fans now. I'm recording. I'm going to inform the fans. While Poseidon is in Italy, we're going to try different co-hosts for Adam, perhaps different intellectuals to join the new _ lobby. And right now, we have Sam Adamo. Welcome to the intellectuals, Sam Adamo.
Thank you. Can I give you one piece of advice?
Yes.
Off camera, Pantelis. I'm happy to do this. If you're going to try out other co-hosts... Maybe, by the way, the way you did this might have been executed flawlessly, but I might advise you to give them a little bit more context as to what's going on. I feel like I'm in the eye of the Tasmanian devil's storm right now.
Exactly.
I just got thrown right into this chair, and I'm hearing about Adam's rap sheet. And I'm befuddled.
Embarrassing, but I prefer to just tell the truth.
That's what I want.
But maybe that's exactly how you need to get co-hosts in to see how they handle things.
Yeah.
On my podcast, the first episode I ever did with the current producer, Dilo, I confessed to him that when what is this musical?
Welcome to the intellectuals.
Okay, great. The first episode that Dilo did a year ago, when I went onto YouTube, I did exactly what you're doing to me here now, which is I threw him for a loop and I tried to, get him off his game, and I wanted to see how he would react. I told him that I admitted to him that when I met him for the interview, for the unpaid position that was the podcast producer of the Bordello, my show, I had like a sock in my pants to try to make it look like I had a big cock, because I wanted to throw him off. And I admitted it to him on the show. First episode that he came on as producer for. And I wanted to see if he would, first of all, how he would react to that. He also claimed he didn't notice. So I was like, okay,
that's something else.
Well, I don't.
He just assumed you had a big one.
I think he claims he didn't clock it. So he could be aggressively straight. I don't know. But the point is I wanted to see how he would react. And he passed with flying colors. And I feel like that's what's going on now is I'm being thrown into the eye of the storm, which is getting to know you.
Or one guy you don't know and one guy you know, but with very little background information.
It's not the knowing. It's more of the fact that he did not know that he's going to be a co-host on the intellectuals of all shows. And this isn't the most normal of programs, is what he's trying to say.
I suspected. Listen, I was prepared for anything when I came in here, but I was not necessarily prepared to be in your presence alone, trying to get a read on you in person. I've seen you online. I've never seen you in person. There's something that happens when you look into a human's eyes.
Makes sense.
And you look at the crazy that lies behind the cornea, that you kind of just, that it hits you. And you kind of have to make a read live in real time. And yeah. But I'm trapped in a room with you. So
I like your choice of words, by the way. Cornea. And yeah.
Sure. Yeah. The cornea is that's what I'm looking into right now. Beyond, inside your cornea, trying to gauge whether or not I should power through this or run out of the room.
Oh, power through. It's going to be amazing.
So, okay. What's the topic this week? I don't know. The whole shtick is...
Well, first, hold on. Before we go any further, what have you been up to? He doesn't know who the fuck you are, so you got to tell Adam. What have you been up to this week? Who are you? Adam doesn't know what you do.
I'm a God-fearing man.
He does fear God, yeah.
Above all else, I am a 26-year-old stand-up comic here on the scene, and I have a podcast which I put out every week.
The Bordello.
And so I think I'm comfortable in front of a mic, but normally I'm the one who kind of calls the shots, and I feel like I'm in your world now. So this is fun. This will be interesting. I'm ready for anything. I'm looking at a list here that Poseidon left for me. I won't read it off because I don't know if this is the subject matter for this week's episode.
No, forget that's even happening. Pretend you didn't even see it.
Great. I thought I was coming to meet Poseidon, and I come to find out he's in Italy.
Oh, you didn't know?
Didn't know. Oh. Texted him to say I'm here. Walked in, and it was like, hey, you're the new Poseidon. Poseidon's in Italy. We changed places. Poseidon's where I should be, in Italy. And I'm here where he should be, facing you. Dealing with you, Adam.
Nice.
How crazy is that?
How many people are on your podcast?
I do it solo, and I have a producer who I talk to. Sometimes I'll have guests on, but normally I just kind of yell alone.
Very nice.
Yeah. Had a great episode the other day, last week, shilling very hard for Israel, which was fun. It's fun to hear people reach out to you privately and say, "Hey, this was good. Good on you for doing this." I wasn't really shilling for them, but I called the pro-Palestinian students gay, kind of, for lack of a better word. I don't know.
You don't say that around Adam.
You do not.
He hates the gays.
Oh, okay.
Stop.
Okay.
It's an inside thing. I have no idea where he's going with it.
I feel like this is kind of like an intervention which we're staging for Adam, which I was not made aware of. Like I was made to be like I'm the psychiatrist that's being called in to kind of like psychoanalyze you and get a read, but I didn't even know I was here.
Adam, why don't you ask him what his side business is?
Okay, I repeat what he just said. What is your side business?
I'm in e-commerce.
Nice.
I sell sundry products. Chief among them are sex toys, sex paraphernalia, dildos.
Cool.
Yes. Didn't even flinch. That's why you're on the intellectuals. That's why people love you. Nothing phases you.
Well, I was trying to figure out what to say, but listen, as long as you're not breaking any laws, then more power to you, right?
Wait, what does that mean? You break laws all the time.
I don't know who you are to judge me for if I were breaking laws.
I'll tell you what.
I'm not getting caught for any laws that I'm breaking.
Fair enough. So. Listen, I'd like to operate under the pretext that you are a free-thinking person, okay?
Sure.
That is why I would like to ask you, a brand new person that I've never met or spoken to in my life. Let me ask you, without going into too much detail of why I found myself in trouble with the law, okay? Somebody sent me to go pick something up. I have to be as vague as possible because it's a little bit on the embarrassing side. Somebody sent me to go pick something up. It turned out to end up in a sting. Do you consider me to be a person who broke the law, or did I just get set up not knowing what was going on?
What kind?
Welcome to the intellectuals.
What kind of sting? Was it
Cops
CP?
came, dragged me to the ground. No, it was the police.
That's not what CP means.
Oh,
He's saying, what crime did you commit?
Oh.
Because that changes his attitude.
Well, it was a number of crimes, but I suppose the most prevalent one would be collecting money for marijuana. Okay, going out and collecting money that was owed to a third party.
You have any children, Adam?
No, I don't.
No offspring?
Nope.
Okay, that's probably okay.
It's for the best.
Good. That's all right. You thinking about having children at any point in time?
I'm 45 years old. It's not happening.
Okay, that's not how biology works, but
True,
all right.
but it just wouldn't make sense according to my logic. You know,
Nor mine.
It just
I think it's
wouldn't.
good. You got.
You mean like it wouldn't make sense? Like nobody would. Yeah, don't get distracted. Don't worry, Sam. Never get distracted by the screen.
I'm hoping I can try to get an answer out of you.
Blinders on.
Do you believe that I can be deemed guilty of breaking the law when I got set up? You know, I got set up and I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yes.
Like Pantelis asked me.
Yes.
The cops came, busted me. That they were doing a sting. They didn't know who I was. But
The answer to your question is yes.
You thought I was breaking the law.
Well, it's not whether I think you're breaking the law or not. You're asking me two different things here. You said, first and foremost, you said, do you think I was guilty of anything?
Oh.
Or do you think, I think you asked me.
I thought I said,
to be
was
honest,
I breaking the law?
Listen, you bamboozled me, but I think you said something along the lines of, is it fair that I got caught or something?
I thought I said, do you think that I was breaking the law?
If that's what you said, I didn't clock it. This is a lot. Okay, hang on. Let me strap in here.
Right.
What's your question?
You know what? I phrased it poorly. So let me erase everything I just said and ask you the question
Sure.
again.
You know what? Likewise. I will flush this entire
The first 5
interaction
minutes that
out
we
of my
were
brain.
acting. Okay.
Let's start afresh.
Having heard the details of what happened, do you believe, and it's a very important thing that I need to add, and I got set up and I didn't know what the hell was going on. Do you believe that I was a person who was breaking the law? Given the information.
You were an accessory to a crime inadvertently.
Thank you.
Listen. There's an expression that nobody says, but I say sometimes. There's an old adage in the Samadamo
Dictionary, convention book,
dictionary,
whatever.
sure, lingo, whatever.
Go ahead.
Which is, you don't get off criminal activity if you're a fish.
That's a very
What
good
context of fish do you mean?
Like if you just got caught, all right, you took the bait. I'm sorry, you downloaded the CP.
Oh, I see.
Downloaded the CP. It's
He's
on
right.
your computer. Lawyer up. You know what I'm saying?
What's CP? I still don't know where.
It's not good. It's not good.
It's bad. It's the bad one. It's the Catholic Church one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you download CP, all right, it's on your computer, it's on your hard drive. You looked at it, you're in possession of CP. You got set up.
I know what CP is now. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. It's neither here nor there what your intent was. Now listen, if you come out here and tell me that you never had the intention of committing any crime, I could at least say you didn't think you were doing anything nefarious. But I guess the most nefarious thing you did was entrusting
the wrong people.
Some random person.
So
That
the whole
wasn't
thing,
a close friend. He was more of an acquaintance. But
So if you-
still.
That makes you a bit of a fish, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Okay, fair
That's,
enough.
that's okay.
Fair enough.
We've
So
all
you're
been
trying
there.
to tell us, Adam, that you were watching the CP for the story and not for anything else.
What he said about 5 seconds ago
Exactly,
is the
that's what
most
he's-
appropriate description.
Good.
I didn't know what I was doing. Sometimes in life you find that you're entrusting the wrong people, and all of a sudden the shit hits the fan, as they say, you know. And fine, I like that. I just wanted to, you know, I give you an A+ for
What
your
are you
answer.
afraid that I would judge you for having committed a crime? I don't give a fuck that you committed a crime. I'm here with a fella.
Hold on.
I don't
There is
care.
a reason why I
I'm
brought
just-
up this subject.
Yeah,
Okay?
okay, why is that? Because it sounded like you were trying to gauge whether or not I judged you for committing
No,
a crime.
no,
I
has
do
not
not.
sound like
I do not care. You know,
That's the last. No, that was not the priority on my mind.
Yeah.
The priority on my mind was, so I just wanted to do a little bit of rewind in the time department, okay?
Yeah.
When
That's
it was
one hell
around
of,
the,
that's a very fun way of word. A rewind in the time department.
when I had
Just
my
say,
fun way
let's
of
go back
wording
a
it.
second. He says
When-
it very stupidly.
It's true. The very first appearance on this show as a guest was around the time that I was basically given, you know, papers by the court. You have to show up in court at this day. And okay, I guess in life now, I am a bit embarrassed, and I'll admit, but I learned a different lesson the hard way. There are certain things you just don't want to tell people, right? But somehow, you tell one person, that person tells another person, and all of a sudden, well, everybody's brother knows Adam was in trouble with the law.
I don't want to bore people if people are aware of this on the pod already, okay? Because this could be part of the podcast lore, which I, frankly, am not aware of. So, I don't want to harp on this too long, but, I guess, just in the interest of understanding better what it is that makes you tick.
Right.
Are you ashamed of the fact that you were kind of baited into a situation, hook, line, and sinker? Is that the embarrassing thing, or is it the nature of the crime itself, which you're being very light on the details of?
Okay, at the end, yes. You're very first. Did I feel ashamed of what happened? At the end. I initially thought...
There's clearly some kind of shame. We've already addressed that. Let's get to the bottom of what the shame is. Was the shame rooted in the fact that you felt like,
I got used.
Can you just... Okay, so you felt gullible. You felt like talking about it might make you seem like a bit of a fish. Like a gullible person. It wasn't the crime itself that was an issue.
Okay, it's not that I'm avoiding you, but listen carefully.
I'm just trying to make sure you're not in possession. You've never been in possession of child pornography at any point in your life.
No, absolutely not.
I'm just making sure that that's not what you're embarrassed about. Oh, everyone knows I'm a diddler now. I didn't suspect that. I don't want to put that on you, but okay. So to be clear, what is embarrassing to you is the fact that you feel...
I have a rap sheet, even though I had no clue what that was going on.
So you're a good person in your mind, and you feel that people might judge you for having committed a crime, when in fact you had like this childlike sense of wonder, and you just believed in people's good nature.
And you're a little embarrassed about that. And paraphrase them a little bit.
Okay.
In life, okay, I'm sure I don't have to explain details. You have your best friend who you've known since you were 6 years old. Let's say you have people that you've known maybe 5 years, you have work. There are people that have a solidified level of trust, otherwise they're not your friends, right? The person in question was a person that wasn't really a close friend. It was more of an acquaintance.
How long had you known this person?
A year, maybe 2. Mm-hmm. Yeah, something like that.
Where did you meet them? In the wild, on the internet? Don't say the internet.
I met him in a bar.
Okay. All right.
And
what kind of bar?
And it was a bar in the West Island.
Nice. What's it called?
I'll take it a step further. I don't know what it's called, but it's you know where the gas station is near the airport, right? Across the highway, there's an Esso there's an Esso gas station.
You met him at a bar next to a gas station.
I'm not joking. Okay. There's a little strip mall in one of the
where all great friendships blossom from.
You went to a low-level gay bar.
No, I didn't.
The devil knows the truth, Adam.
This man is very homophobic. He would never. We've established. So, okay.
Let me continue the story since it's hot in my mind.
Sure, there's more. Yeah, great. Let's go.
So, this person, in the beginning, listen, I am interjecting, but let me ask you a simple question. If somebody in the grand scheme of things plans to...
use you.
Thank you. I was looking for the right word.
Use.
Yeah, there's a word called hoodwinked. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's an interesting word I learned from him.
Just
take advantage. Yeah, exploit.
If
somebody plans to use you,
hoodwink. Yeah,
do you think that person is obviously going to tell you from the get-go, I plan to use you, They're going to dress themselves up. They're going to act like very suave and, you're my friend, whatever, right?
What do you mean suave? Like, how sexy was this guy?
Okay. That may not have been the best word. They're going to act diplomatic and they're going to say, hey, you're a nice guy. Now, let me continue so that I can explain myself.
I just want to know, so this is like a guy who never called you like a retard or was never rude to you?
No.
Okay, so you want to diss on? Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
So I was initially this guy's driver for a while. Okay, he had no car.
I had no license. It was a perfect marriage.
Drive me to Tim Hortons in Lachine. No joke. He wanted me to drive him to the Tim Hortons in Lachine. I got $50 for you. Well... that's cool, spend $10 in gas and make 40, right? That sounds like it's only as I got to know him better that I discovered some, let's just say, unpleasant characteristics.
Where would you drive him normally? Like what kind of places?
Well, actually, I talked about him a little bit on the last podcast. He was actually living in a motel with his girlfriend at the time. Listen, I don't want to know what he was doing. I don't care. Drive me from here to anywhere from downtown to Montreal West,
Yeah, so what kind of motel was that?
Could you be more specific, a low end. Like,
low end motel.
Yeah.
Did you find it weird that him and his girlfriend were living in a low end motel?
He explained it to me. I think she had gotten, she had gotten some settlement from the government for a large amount of money. I don't know the. I don't know the amount.
They splurged on the motel room.
Right.
So Oh, and
Yeah,
I
it
think
makes
he had also had money making in a business. I'd rather not go into details what that business entailed, but he had made some money. So he sounded like an appealing guy. You want to make some money with me?
Yeah, because he reeks of cash when he's living in a motel.
Well, this I remember as a fact. He lived in that motel all month. So you do the math, right? 60, 70 bucks a night, let's say. You've got to spend $2,000 a month. So
why wouldn't he just get a regular apartment?
in order to answer that, you would have to understand the guy's psyche. He was a little bit, as I got to know him better, the guy's...
What's your read on his
was a little
psyche?
bit
Yeah.
of a, okay.
Was he a little peculiar?
I'm gonna answer you, but I need some details.
Sure.
Let me provide you with details.
Yeah, provide us.
He was a bit of a like, you know what a compulsive person is? A person
Like
that
a compulsive
doesn't really,
liar?
Well, that's one context of it, but yeah, he was just very compulsive. He didn't. So okay, I know the word normal has many connotations, but his mind didn't really think normal. Okay, he did stuff that was illegal, and I don't want to get into it. He just did stuff that was illegal.
Yeah, you said prostitution, selling drugs. We know it's not the worst. Go on.
He did anyway.
What did he do anything?
I
Did he do anything else that we don't know about? Worse than that?
No, you hit it pretty much.
Yeah, all
you hit
right,
it dead on. So I'm initially thinking, okay, the guy knows he knows how the world of business works.
Of course he does, because that's
legitimate
later on, I
business.
find
He's
out
a
the guy
businessman.
smoked a lot of marijuana.
To be
he
fair,
blew
Adam,
money in gambling.
he sounds like more of a businessman.
Yeah. Instead of
I thought you were
business.
gonna say a bitch.
No,
but
a businessman.
I never heard
Business. I don't know. I don't know if he could explain the tax code to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he could explain what kind of tax breaks
don't-
exist for
I doubt it.
corporations.
The guy had only a grade 10 education, so I doubt it.
That's what gave it away was his grade 10. That's what.
Anyway, listen, I don't care. Nobody knows who this guy is.
You go to school, by the way?
The last time I was in school was about a year ago.
And a girl had to get a restraining order. Not a year ago, but like 10 years ago in
I
Concordia.
was 20.
You go to college?
No, I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna give you an answer.
Please,
it
yeah.
was a-
Please do.
It was a
When I ask you a
college-
question, I would love if you could answer.
I forget what the name was, but
question.
it's a college with campuses all over Canada. AEC, AE. They're in Laval. They're
ACN.
they're-
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I forgot the name, but anyway, and I was taking a law class. The problem was,
A law class.
Yeah, him.
serious. Yes.
So this is
Did
not
they
a legitimate
explain what
university.
It would
happens?
be illegal to be the level below a lawyer. I forgot.
yeah.
Technicien en juridique is the French word. I don't know what it is in English. Legal technician.
Perchance, were there any lessons on what happens in the event that a person gets, incriminated in some kind of
Yeah.
It didn't get that far.
some kind of sting operation, but didn't
get that
intend to
far.
commit a crime?
Didn't get that far.
No, never.
Now,
If only you stuck with it.
the reason I had to stop. Now, I don't know how much you know about how government programs work.
A lot.
I was expected to get a loan for $20,000 from the government, and they stopped at 3. Well, gee, instead of 6 semesters, I only went for 1.
Hold on, what do you mean you expected?
Okay, so let me explain. The government said they checked with Revenue Quebec. I have a feeling, I'm not 100% sure.
Because of
If
your
you're
poor
making
credit?
if you're making too high of an income, you're not entitled to this credit. It
Yeah,
was
but
a
you don't
student
make
loan.
any money.
Yeah, do you
I
want?
don't
Hang on.
remember. I
Okay,
was working at the time.
Look.
So
Yeah,
at the
under
end
the
of the day,
table.
there's
So
no
the
need-
whole thing.
It stopped after 1 month.
Listen, let's let bygones be bygones.
Yep.
All right. Let's leave the past, as you put it, rewound in another point in the rear view
time.
past, whatever word you said. Now, what's your life look like?
Right.
What are you doing now?
Well, actually, I didn't quite finish the story. Just to give you a character. To make a long story short,
Oh,
the
yeah,
guy
'cause
was a
that's
real
what you've done with
prick.
this.
When there was a point I was trying to make. If somebody wants to scam you, I think they would be pretty diplomatic, polite. They appeal to
Listen,
you. appealing.
I understand. Look,
Yeah.
there
He turned out to be an asshole later on.
Yeah.
And at the
I
end
got
of
it.
the
So
day,
you met a guy. You met a guy at
turned out to be an asshole.
You met a guy at a
Suave guy.
gas station, and he, you
I met him in a bar.
Yeah, that's the
Next
part you
to a
want to
gas
correct.
station.
Yeah.
you met him in public.
Yes.
In the real world.
Yes.
And you
It
fell
went,
victim
it went the
to
right way, and then it went totally the wrong way.
You stared into his soul beyond his corneas, and you said, "That's something about him that just hypnotized you and bamboozled you."
You fell victim to his charm and charisma.
It's an interesting choice of words, and I'll take it.
I'm an interesting choice of guy.
Well, to quote Norm Macdonald, or to paraphrase Norm Macdonald, he used to say he was afraid.
That name rings a bell. Who was that?
You know the McDonald's Corporation, Ronald McDonald, his brother.
This guy has something to do with the news, or he's a journalist.
He was on SNL. Yeah, he was a comic.
Yeah, he's not a journalist.
So what did he say? Sorry.
He said that he was afraid that if he would have met Hitler back in the day, he would have fallen victim to his charm and yeah.
So I'm not.
You kind of fell victim to. You were just listen. You were another in a long line of people that bought, that towed the party line and bought the
Kool-Aid. You drank it.
You drank the Kool-Aid and you bought in hook, line, and sinker to what the guy was selling. And all right, fine. Again, bygones.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's move on.
We have established that you are prone to getting scammed.
I'm not proud of it, but listen, I cannot repair the mistakes that I made when I started to get on the show.
We're not mad at you.
Unfortunately, I divulged too much information, and now the public kind of has this fixation.
No, they don't have a fixation. They just know that you got scammed easy, and they don't want you to get scammed again.
True.
I'd like to know that you're not, at risk of getting scammed again. So what does your life look like now? What's a day?
Okay.
What's a day to day?
Well,
What does today look like? Today's a
honest.
Monday. How did you start off your week?
I wanted to answer that question, but we'll get to my week thing later. I changed my phone number. I got rid of that piece of crap that basically helped ruin my life. And
I got the gist of it though. Like I don't like.
Yeah, you don't need to go back.
Okay,
if the people at home are already familiar with the story,
Yeah. Give us a regular day in Adam's life.
I got the gist. Like I
fair
understand.
enough. There's no need to go into more details.
your I don't know,
Bad
your
experiences.
timeline leading up to this point.
Right.
And again, as you said, you're not that proud of it. We don't need to rehash it and open up old wounds if you're
No problem.
not
Okay,
that
cool.
into, discussing it.
Yeah.
And,
Fair enough, fair
particularly if the people who are listening to this are aware of this. And if they're not, I suppose they can go back and listen, right?
No,
If
they're
you have any
aware.
listeners.
They're aware.
Great.
Okay, what's your question
so
this week?
currently,
Right.
what does a day look like for you now? Where are you living? What neighborhood are you living in? I don't know how many of the people that listen to this are in Montreal
They
or not,
know.
but what area are you in? Straight answer.
Central.
Straight answer.
It's not that I don't want to tell you,
North
but that's
Central.
personal, okay?
Nobody speaks, for context, I'm going to look into the camera. Nobody in Montreal speaks that way. That's like LA talk from North Central LA.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So you're on the island of Montreal. Okay,
Yes, I
great.
am.
You live in an apartment on your own?
No.
You on your own?
Well,
You're
have
not
a
on your own.
roommate, but-
So that
You have
means
a-
you're not on
okay,
your own.
okay.
okay, it depends how you define
You have a
on my own.
roommate. Who is this person?
I have an agreement with him to keep all details about him private. So it's not that I don't want to say it, but for reasons of privacy, I can't talk about. I can talk about other stuff. I live on my own
Nope,
in an
okay.
apartment.
With another person?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. On your own with another person. That's fine. So you met this person in the real world, or is that divulging too much?
No. He was introduced to me by somebody that I met
A while ago?
since I got the apartment 3-4 years ago.
3-4 years ago. Okay, so you've known this person 3-4 years. Would you describe this person as a trustworthy person?
Oh, yeah.
If I met him, I would say this is a trustworthy person. I would.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Be careful is all I would say.
Yeah,
Just be
well,
careful.
he's-
You don't
yeah.
want to fall, don't get up to your
I
old
appreciate
tricks
it, I
again,
appreciate it. But let's go more into your question was what does the average week look like for me?
Right,
I have a part-time,
yeah.
I just started a job actually.
Where?
I do deliveries. I do
Not
I work for a
marijuana,
restaurant. I work
I
for a
hope.
restaurant.
It's okay. You're not falling back into the same line of work. I hope.
No, it's true. That's a delivery too, but no.
Yeah.
I deliver legal stuff.
Yeah. Well, delivery's vague. I delivered my body, myself. I delivered my person here today. So to be clear, so it's all right. Just wanna
In terms of the connotation, you just told me that you sell stuff on the internet, so you could technically say that you deliver too, right? I don't know if you have a company that takes care of it or.
yeah. I don't. Yeah. It's done for me. Okay.
Fair enough. But anyways,
So you do deliveries.
right.
Like a mobster might. Just you got to be careful with the verbiage because when you
No,
say
legal.
I handle deliveries, it
Yeah.
sounds
Well, I told you where I work, so it's a restaurant, so it's not.
okay, no problem.
But when you said I handle deliveries, it sounds suspicious.
Oh, did I? Okay, sorry. I meant to say. I
So
do.
you're paying taxes, you're filing, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay. So I don't know. I mean, this is your show.
It's true, it's true.
Now that I have an idea as to who you are and what your life looks like, and the fact that you have some responsibilities, you pay rent, you're a relatively sane person.
All right. Well, let's not
I would say,
exaggerate.
I believe it would be fair to say I'm a good upstanding citizen.
All right. So Adam
who has to be home at 10 p.m. An upstanding citizen, right? But you got a curfew
With a little glitch,
right?
but it's over in
with
3
an
months.
ankle bracelet.
Don't
with an
worry, there's no
ankle-
ankle. They call me. This I've talked about, and I don't mind hiding that.
They call me the ankle bracelet.
Okay, so it's very simple. I don't know how much you know about criminal law, just the basic principles.
Yeah.
Enough to not get myself in trouble.
Okay,
That's about it.
I don't care if you could get it. You get arrested for, I don't know, even an assault. Okay, let's just say The judge decides. You go in the courtroom. The judge decides. Not guilty. You plead guilty. Do you go to jail? Do you have house arrest? So in the terms in which I got, there could have been an ankle bracelet attached, but the conditions I got were as follows.
They were favorable.
In the first 8, somewhat, okay? In the first 8 months of my house arrest, I had to be home, and there was only a few hours a week when I didn't have to report. They can call me at any time minus those 4 hours, and if I don't answer the phone, there's a report that goes to my probation agent that says Adam didn't answer the phone. You have to answer the phone.
It's like USADA.
What is that?
Yeah.
The United States Anti-Doping Agency. It's like you got to be on call. You're kind of always on call.
Now
they could always come knocking and ask for a pee sample.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
and Adam does the same thing, but they didn't ask for the pee sample.
Right.
No, they didn't.
They call you and you're.
Yeah, he's just like, why are you pissing? He's like, I got
can
this.
Get pissed in someone's mouth. Okay,
Now,
okay.
the only restriction, it's the exact same convention. They can call me anytime between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. If I don't answer the phone, well, then there's a report. And the reason why I brought that up, if you don't answer the phone,
It's not very nice calling someone at 2 a.m. I don't know.
what do you want me to do?
Do they sometimes call you at 2 a.m?
They try to be courteous. The latest is like occasionally 2, maybe 12, midnight to 1 a.m.
Okay.
It sucks, but it's better that than being in jail, right?
Adam,
Right.
you've prepared possibly the most incoherent and dumbest list ever that I think we should get to.
Well, favorite things, yeah.
I honestly, you're gonna have to help me because either I'm not reading this shit correctly or.
I was in a rush when I wrote it, so.
All right. Well, this week's top 5.5 favorite Hebrew pastimes.
I didn't say Hebrew, but okay.
What does it say?
Favorite pastimes?
No, it says Hebrew right here.
That's your
Well,
idea?
things to do.
Favorite, dude. That is not what it says. I gotta show the camera. That's not what it says.
Okay, show it.
Hold on.
Have a look.
Yeah. Am I crazy?
What did you mean to say?
Hobbies and / pastimes or something like that.
Oh, hobbies. Maybe he wrote.
Hobbies.
Hebrew pastimes. Fuck.
Okay.
Thank God. Because after last week's pod of mine, I actually thought, maybe give the Jewish stuff a bit of a rest for a while. I gave my people a lot.
All right. So let me get into it here.
Okay.
Number 5. Again, this is not an actual. This is why I'm saying this list doesn't make any sense. Number 5 on this list. Favorite place to frequent and chill / hang out casino.
One of them is the casino. I'm not gonna. Okay, well.
Okay, I don't think you understand how a list works.
Are these potential lists of superlatives?
Because
I put it in
I feel like
brackets
each
because-
number of this thing it's a list on its own.
So hold on. The idea, I didn't always give the answers. I gave the idea, and now it's up to us to improvise. And because we didn't go over this when the
okay.
show
So
started.
this list will be improvised.
You guys don't normally come with a topic like.
Yes, they do, but
predetermined?
he is half retarded.
Let me explain. Pantelis and I didn't discuss it,
Yeah.
and it's my fault that I didn't bring it up, but I had to kind of do it without consulting him. So
Yeah.
I did.
So here's what we're gonna do. So then you guys get to converge. So number 5 is favorite place to frequent / chill / hang out / casino.
Not so. Casino is one of the answers.
So you
It's a
guys
place
can
I
tell
like
me
to
what
go
you think.
to. Okay. Have you?
I'm
do
sorry.
You go there often?
Pardon?
Okay, let's back up a little bit. For those who are not familiar, like yourself, we devote part of the show to give ideas.
I'm familiar with the
5.5 list.
Oh, you are?
segment. I'm
Okay.
familiar with the premise.
Right.
I'm
So I
not.
threw the idea
I'm,
of favorite
I'm a little.
places.
I'm a little. Just perplexed as to what direction we're supposed to go in from here on out.
Okay,
So you have 2 lists which we could tackle.
One list.
Which
five
one?
items are on it.
Okay, to me that read as 2 lists.
Yes, exactly.
2.5, because one was Hebrew pastimes.
There's 5
The other
items
was
on it.
hobbies
So
pastimes.
we're
5
gonna.
items.
I'm gonna go with hobbies just for this. I'm gonna pretend I didn't read Hebrew, even though it clearly says Hebrew. And we're gonna go with number 5. Says favorite place to frequent / chill / hang out / casino.
So we each give
So
one
let me
back and
explain.
forth.
Let me explain
Right?
a
We
little
don't-
bit. Yeah. I put the
Wait,
word
hold on.
casino in
so
brackets.
So you want him to pick his favorite place to hang out,
Yes, we're
his favorite
sharing
place to
thoughts.
chill, and his favorite casino.
No. Forget casino. That's my answer.
You
Okay.
like
That's
you
what
get
I'm
you have a
sharing.
gambling problem too.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
throw
he does.
gambling into the mix.
He does.
Forget the word casino.
He's
You
a
gamble
degenerate.
before 10 p.m.
No, he does. He gambles a lot. For real.
What do you play on? We can bond over this.
Hold on,
everything.
but we have to get to the
Poker,
list.
blackjack, yeah.
So number 5,
Yeah.
favorite place to chill, frequent, or casino.
Chill or frequent.
Okay, chill or frequent.
One answer that I was going to give us to the possible answers from my own, what I want to share, is
Yeah.
the casino. We're welcome to volunteer other answers.
Sure.
Bars, whatever. That's There's a few bars that I also like.
Can we just stick to one?
Okay, fine. The casino,
Your
yes.
favorite place to chill is the casino.
One of.
One of my least favorite places to chill is the casino. One of the places that listen, the first place I'll go if I want to have like a major, episode of anxiety and a cortisol spike is the casino. I won't go there to chill. So you'll go there to take a load off. Because when I go there, I'm going there to kind of live large. And
well, I can explain that.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Because I think, just to be clear, most people, I think it's a leisurely activity.
Yeah.
But I don't think most people are going there to chill or take a load off. I think, well, maybe to take a load off, but no one's going there to chill.
I'm not a
They're going
professional
there to feel
gambler,
alive.
so I'm not a professional gambler. So let me explain.
He's very unprofessional when he gambles.
I was 16, 17. You know Mizoja, right? When you bet on sports?
I'm familiar.
Okay. I was 16. I wasn't even allowed according to the law to play.
That's
but
right.
I went to the definite around the corner from where I lived. I guess either they didn't care, they didn't notice, whatever.
Yeah.
I put in a $2
Were you
bet.
bald at 16 as well?
No, I was in
You
my
just
early
look exactly
20s.
like this?
No.
Like the idea that you would have just...
No, but in the 70s, nobody cared.
So I put in a $2 bet, $71. I put in a $3 bet, $110. I had beginner luck.
Yeah.
That pretty much opened the door to me in various forms of gambling.
Sure. Okay. So you find it to be relaxing.
I like the casino because I came out there with a large amount of money. It was large, $12,000. First and only time, but still,
Sure. First and only time. You've never been back.
Oh, no, he's
First and
been
only
back
time winning
regularly.
that kind of money. First and
yeah,
only,
yeah.
Okay.
The rest is all on the lost
I may have gone home
column.
with $1,500 or $2,000. You know,
Sure.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not a hypocrite. Just to make it clear, I've seen people lose like thousands of dollars. Or I've heard stories where people commit suicide, and it's government owned, so they're not gonna advertise that. But there's people
you
who lose their
will.
life savings. There's machines you can press a button. Here, boom, boom, boom. I just pressed the button 5 times. $100 a spin in the high roller section.
What are you trying to tell us, though? I don't
You
understand.
can lose $100,000 there if you want in a short amount of time.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Brag.
When you look at bar VLT machines, $2.50 is the maximum. You could lose, I don't know, $2,000 in a day. No, I'm explaining the
So
rationale.
you're trying to rationalize all the money you've lost. Bring the mic closer to you, by the way. You're trying to. There we go. You're trying to rationalize all the money you've lost by saying I could have lost more if I had more.
I was only bringing into this a by the way fact. If you're wondering what attracted me to that place, is the fact that I had beginner luck.
Okay.
And
But what attracted you before the beginner's luck? Oh, the beginner's luck in
I
the
was a gambler,
sports
period.
gambling.
Yeah, a gambler. You know, if you're
So to be
successful
clear,
in one form of
so
gambling,
to be
you
clear, so just to gauge how your brain works,
Sure.
right?
Gonna be tough.
So no, but that's what I'm here for.
Go ahead.
That's what I'm buckled in, ready to do here for the next however long this goes on for. You're telling me that you will sometimes go to the casino and, aware of the potential life-altering damage that it could do to you, you go there, sit down, and say, "I'm relaxed."
You
For
have a
that
point.
reason,
there's a stress aspect.
Because I'm never relaxed. Even when I say I'm going with the cash in my pocket and I'm leaving my fucking wallet in the car. Okay, I'm going with cash in hand. That's it.
Same.
Even if I have that mentality, I'm still stressed.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
Then
with
I
you.
go to
But you
zero.
didn't ask me.
I'm with you, Sammy.
Hold on.
So-
Entertainment and stress are not mutually exclusive. You can be stressed, but still. be
Yeah, but stress and
entertained.
chill are mutually exclusive. You understand where this gets a little bit dicey?
Fine. Okay, well, hold on. You know, it
We're
reminds me
on
of that
1 of
commer-
5. This is a crazy first pick. That was the first one you came up with. You had it in the list. Where to chill / casino. The first thing that came to your mind was,
Well, let me explain.
let's
Let me
go play
explain.
a game called War. I'm going to go to war with the dealer. Just counting numbers all the time.
So hold on. You
I
can't,
don't
re- you can't
yeah.
read my mind, so I'll tell you some details about my gambling experiences there.
Experiences.
Do you know how roulette works? That was a good. I'm trying not to get ahead of
Yeah,
myself.
roulette's the one that makes me the least chill. Because you're on the edge of your seat while I don't know, just
So
it trickles.
I have a tendency
It's
to
the
pick-
freakiest one. No, but it's the freakiest one. I have such a hard time chilling out at a casino. Listen, I'm not proud of this, but a couple of months ago, no, when was this? For UFC 300, I put money into a betting account. I hadn't gambled in 2 years. I won money, okay? Borgelli was losing his mind because I went up to like $1,000. I was up $1,000 over like the initial $100 or $200 that I put in.
This is an internet account, right?
This is an internet account.
Okay, go on.
Lost it. Said, okay, that's brutal. I gotta fucking claw my way back, and I did, and I spent like a whole like week just kind of betting on baseball, and I won it back. But it was exhausting. It was exhausting. And I said, I got to be done. Like, I got to take weeks off until the Euro starts, the soccer tournament in a couple of weeks.
Of course.
Commiserations.
Let's go. I know.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
Especially at penalties, bro.
I was pulling very hard. I'm sorry.
I don't think George has ever made it that far, but anyways.
Sorry?
I don't think the Georgian
I don't believe that. Okay, so you're familiar. Good
Of course,
for you.
I follow all kinds of sports.
Right, of course. You're a degenerate gambler.
Yeah, I
right.
was about to say,
Of course.
dude, ask him
But
about fucking Chinese
continue.
third division
you
women's
made
volleyball.
You made $1,000, you lost it, and if I understand correctly, then
I was up a little bit of money, and I thought, great, I got house money. I'm gonna start playing blackjack. I'm playing blackjack with like a video. I guess like I don't know. I'm playing like video live interactive blackjack.
Yeah, I've done that.
With ladies in Lithuania.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm talking to them. Here's my problem: is I'm engaging with the guys. I'm talking about hockey. No, I think it was Latvia. There's a Latvian goaltender. You know this, obviously. Apparently, the Latvian goaltender for the
Canucks.
Vancouver. There we go. You know what? Every
I know
fucking
my
niche
shit.
reference
Yeah.
to sports in North America
He's a
and abroad.
degen.
You know, great. So I'm talking to these Latvian dudes about hockey and I'm typing to them. I'm not even. I don't know. I'm like not even focusing on the hand. I'm saying I can't chill when I gamble because I just have hyperactivity and I try to engage with the dealer and I care about how I'm perceived and I want to be liked by the guy. So there are just so many variables at play when I'm gambling. And that's by the way, this is online where there's like a screen. There's a barrier between me and this person. I'm anonymous. I could not engage with this person. I'm ashamed to not do it. I almost feel like I got to make the time pass more pleasantly for them. Let alone at a casino where I'm like making eye contact with the guy.
It's all typing, right? No voiceover.
Typing.
Oh,
so when
got it.
so can you imagine when I'm in a casino and I'm face to face with another human being like you are right now?
Right.
I'm cracking jokes with you all the time, which adds to the nerves because I'm
not focused.
Yeah, I'm not focused. There's just nothing about it is chill. I do it for the rush. But not because of the.
Let me elaborate on why I like
chill.
roulette, okay? You'll understand after I provide my explanation with you.
Yeah,
Now,
we will. Yeah.
I don't want to go into all the details, but you play inside or outside, right? If you play inside and you put one $10 chip, I remember I had four
What
of them.
does that mean? I'm a layman.
Oh,
I don't
sorry.
gamble
Okay.
much. Sorry.
You have the board, right? You have any number from 1 to 36 and the 0, and some tables have 00, right? I don't want to confuse you, but the inside is a particular number. There's 36 or 37, or, 37 or 38 numbers on the board. You have to pick. The ball spins, it lands. You have to pick that very number. Here's what I'm getting at. If you put $1 chip on that particular number, let's say the 0, right? And it lands on the 0, your $10 just turned into 360. 35 times your bet plus the chip that. That's why I get excited. And this is not something I made up. I had 4 $10 chips on the 0, and the 0 came in. So do the math. 35 times 40, $1,440.
And then what'd you do with that money? There you go,
It was a long
dickhead.
time ago.
Yeah.
But to shed some light on why I consider the casino a place that excites me, because of reasons like that.
No.
No.
Calms you down.
You said
is
it calms you down. You said it's chill.
It excites me too. It excites everyone.
It's a bit of both.
Oh, that's insane.
Okay.
What about you? Now you have to pick a place where you can relax and chill. And it could be, according to this list, it could be an entire city.
Okay, that's fair. Can we just start off with like the basics? Can we at least agree on this? So, let's
You
take
share
it down.
whatever thoughts you want. I don't.
The couch.
Oh, that's good, actually.
No, but that's not a hot take. Like, do we agree that that's where people you sit down and
Yeah,
you chill,
I guess.
you
Adam,
decompress?
In his current living situation, I believe the couch is off limits for him.
Why is that? Did you get
no,
up to some?
I don't want to go into that, please.
Yeah, so the couch wouldn't be chill for him.
Can someone clue me in here as to what's
Well,
going on?
it's just Adam as being he has a roommate who has, and Adam's made this clear to us, has certain rules, and Adam being a man of both faith and respects those rules. Am I correct, Adam?
Yes.
Okay. So if that's a rule, Adam will respect it and will not fight.
The rule is you can't sit on the couch.
Exactly.
You're living with Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. That's crazy. This person's gonna send you on a job and this person's gonna put fentanyl in one of your pizzas and you're gonna get done for that too. I hope you realize this person is emotionally abusing you. Okay, it's psychological warfare that they're engaging with you, whatever. Okay, I'll tell you where I'm not chill. Is in this studio with you right now. Are you a paisan?
No.
Okay. You give me what's called ORCHAD. I'm fucking drinking coffee. I'm gonna shit myself right now talking to you. Okay, so
I was gonna hint to you, by the way. Had I been asked to give other places like some bars, some restaurants, places,
Sure.
where you like the ambiance. But it's up to you if you want to answer.
Okay, look, the couch is a lowbrow one, but let's just recalibrate with something a little bit more universally acceptable here. I find the couch to be an appropriate place to chill. Generally, maybe with a television,
I'm with you.
Some kind of screen. I'm chilling. To me, in my mind, all right, I'm done for the day. I'm gonna chill before I go to bed. I'm gonna read on the couch. Is that fair?
Yeah. There's no right or wrong here. It's just a question of perspectives, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
By the way, I love it. You mean so well. I don't know why I'm even mad. I'm not mad at you.
It's a situation.
I'm just flustered.
All right. So
perplexed, I guess, is the word. I'm just flustered trying to gauge.
You have a good command of the English language as I do.
He does actually. That's why I listen to the Bordello. I like his words. I like how he speaks.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's move on here. Number 4. Favorite car to rent.
I started the last one, so I'll start this one. When I was 25.
But hang on, normally isn't the theme one? What's the theme of this episode gonna be?
Favorite things to do. Favorite,
But doing, here's, okay, I don't want to get philosophical on you, but the act of doing is, we're never not doing.
Fine.
Even when you're doing nothing, you're doing something, you're doing nothing.
Things you're doing / that are comforting you,
Okay.
I have rented a shitload of cars. I don't know the number, 50,
I just want to
70,
give
100.
I just want to give you like a really, before we get into the car thing, all right? Because, renting a car is a thing to do.
Yeah.
Indeed, it is. I do want to kind of take a second to recalibrate here and point you in the direction of one of the... Okay, look. Okay. I want to point you in the direction of like just where my brain's at here. Because when you say things to do, and within... And again, maybe we have like different brains that operate differently. But when you say this is the episode of top 5 things to do, hang on, and you say here's one thing to do, which is chill, and then we give like a sub aspect. You've got like a so the subheading is all right. So we got things to do. That's a big title. Then the subheading is things to chill, and then we each give a thing to chill. We're just going deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. It's almost like we're creating some kind of like things to do Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
It's very peculiar and hard to keep up with. I'm just going to try to reverse engineer. Adam, please, hang on.
No problem.
Hang on.
So the topic this week cannot be things to do. Well, I mean, I guess it can be, but it's a crazy thing because here's in Italy, all right? There's a thing called, there's a notion referred to. I'm sure this exists in other Mediterranean countries as well, but the Italians being a little more poetic, okay, particularly in their desire to philosophize being a degenerate, they call it il dolce far niente, the sweet act of doing nothing. You understand?
I know that word,
Okay? Dolce far niente.
Niente, I know. The rest I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Dolce, sweet. Far, faire, like in French.
Yeah.
Niente.
Ah, okay.
You're doing nothing. You're sitting on the beach with your dick in your hand. All right, shades on, a beer in hand. You're still doing something. You're doing nothing.
I hear you.
So we need to dial it in a little bit here. All right.
All right.
Have a slug of coffee.
Yeah.
Let the caffeine. Flood your brain and think
the
of
label.
Sure.
Right.
I think it was
He doesn't
more
like labels.
Things we do that give us pleasure. Does that make more sense? You'll see from the list as it comes that.
All right, let's
renting a car gives me atchit also.
Now
I fucking stress the fuck out. I
Now
gotta
you have-
sign papers.
Yeah, now you had favorite car to
Well, you're
rent.
0 for 2, kiddo. Adam.
I was hoping to explain myself, but
Oh,
whether or not
okay.
All
that's
right, Adam,
please
go ahead.
do.
Okay.
Explain.
I'll
So,
be
what's
so.
your favorite? Because here the list says number 4, favorite car to rent. So, what's your favorite car to rent?
Okay. I'm allowed to share stories associated with my answer.
Of course.
When I was 25, the summer I turned 25, Hertz Rent-A-Car used to be owned by Ford, and Mustang is my favorite car. There was one summer, you're not allowed to rent the luxury cars like Volvos, Cadillacs.
Talking to the
all
mic.
that.
Don't talk to me.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
There was one
You are not
summer when you were not allowed to do it.
Oh, sorry.
Is that what you? Is that
I'm
what you
getting
meant to
ahead
say?
of myself.
There was a
If
summer
you
where I
are
didn't have my
under the age
license.
of 25, you cannot rent those luxury cars
Right.
like Mustangs.
I only
Volvos.
just crossed that threshold this past year.
Oh yeah, nice.
So I'm
the summer
right.
that I turned 25, or when I turned 25, I went on a renting binge. I rented the Mustang V6 hardtop, the V8 hardtop, the V6 convertible, and the V8 convertible. So
Were you planning on buying it at any point in time? Were you test try it? Okay.
No, those are
You didn't even fathom the prospect that you could own it one day. You're just like, I'm doomed to never owning one of these things, but I may as well.
I didn't rent it for long periods of time.
Adam is the poster child for the World Economic Forum. He owns nothing and he's happy.
Right. I gotta take off this sweater, dude. I'm fucking boiling out.
Welcome.
So now that I shared my story, I also wanted to tell you the other cars that I like. I like the Volvo. I like the I don't know.
The Mustang and the Volvo. What a
Adam, it'll make you happy to know.
where hang on. We're decrescendoing here, right? So if Mustang is the peak and Volvo's next, what comes after that? I'd like to see what comes next. I want to see if there's a progressive.
I didn't really want it to put an order per se. Mustang is like number one, and after that, I don't care if I don't have
Adam,
my own category.
just for you,
3 or 4.
Just to make you happy, just so you know, when I was in Miami over the weekend, what I had was a silver convertible Mustang.
Good for you.
And
Nice.
yeah, I was peeling out, just had a great time.
V6 or V8?
V8.
Good for you.
Adam was living like it was Miami fucking back in the 80s. All anyone does in Miami is rents cars. That's all anyone does.
They all
there.
have crazy fucking cars.
Well, people.
I saw Bentleys, Rolls Royces, nuts.
Yeah, people. Well, I do think a lot of people rent cars on South Beach. Though,
Was
right?
Hertz the
sure.
company that
Part
was
of the
renting
thing.
them out?
What'd you say?
Was Hertz the company that was renting them out?
It doesn't always hurt. It's mostly painless.
Are you a preferred customer of theirs?
That was good.
Keep going.
No, I'm
Adam.
serious. Why ask about Hertz? I'm actually curious.
Because Hertz is the company, as I said a few moments ago, they're owned by Ford. So your access to Fords is much bigger through Hertz.
It was not Hertz.
Okay. It was not Hertz. They still got Fords.
And I don't think they're
America's
owned by
car.
Ford anymore. It was this is 20 years ago. So anyway, I'm just sharing my story.
Yeah, good
In
story. We
layman's
like it.
terms.
We enjoyed it.
So you would rent Mustangs for an entire summer, and then eventually at
2
one
days,
point.
maybe 3.
So you're
I
single.
wasn't that wealthy.
No, over the course of a summer, there were times when you would sporadically rent a Mustang.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Or a
And I
Volvo.
made it my business to rent all 4 kinds: V6 hardtop, V8 hardtop.
Let me ask.
convertible
At
V6.
no point were you driving one of these and think, hey, I don't know, maybe I should work a little harder. Maybe I'll be able to buy one of these one day. Did it motivate you in one way, or did it kind of have the opposite effect and almost depress you, where you said,
So let me
shucks, I'll
explain.
never be able to afford one
I
of
had
these?
rented other cars before, so it was just not really.
Like Volvos?
What did I have? I had Buicks, stuff. You can still rent the car. It's just not a luxury car.
By the way, nobody remembers the cars they rented, like ever. Like if it's a silver Mustang, that one
remember
trip
the
in Miami, okay, fine.
The
But,
rest
like,
I don't remember.
Pontiac had a model called the Alero. I don't know if you remember it. I'm just thinking of some of the. You asked
I think
me
I
what kind of.
remember a lot, but who gives a shit?
Okay, I'm just saying what other cars that I rent. Well, Toyota low end, Corollas,
All right,
Camrys.
so
you name it.
basically, your favorite car is a series of 30 cars.
So what's the question? What do I have to answer now?
What's your favorite car
What's
to
your
rent?
favorite car? It doesn't matter if it's to rent or just to own. I
The
don't care.
list says to rent.
I don't have a favorite car to rent. I'm not a fucking psychopath. I don't have a favorite car to
Okay,
rent.
I don't know if that you don't have a business and you have to see 3 clients every,
Oh,
and you
no.
maybe rent a car every Saturday. I don't know.
I guess,
you know?
yeah. I just never, my life hasn't, panned out in such a way that I've ever gotten into the habit of regularly renting a car such that I could tell you, I got a Tesla. I'm screwed. They're a real nightmare to, charge.
That's true,
I
I'm
don't have an opinion on it. I rented a car once. It was in Greece. It was a smart car in Mykonos, and it was a problem. So my least favorite car to rent, probably that.
I mean,
What was the
by
reason it was a
default, which by
problem?
default becomes your favorite car. Your favorite car to rent is that Mykonos smart car.
It's the only one I've ever rented.
By default.
I don't like renting. I had a horrible experience renting a Vespa in Amalfi a couple years ago. I fell off of it. I scraped up my knee real bad. Went to a dermatologist the other day about it, by the way. Dermatologist. I'd love to know what your opinion on dermatologists is. I feel like you got like a kind of, I feel like anything I say to you, you'll probably kind of agree with and add to. I think dermatology is one of the lowest levels of medicine that you can probably strive to go into.
I have a short story I want to
Not
share
that you
with
and I are, right, great.
One level below
You can't
Try to
pediatrician.
not keep it too graphic.
No, don't
but-
worry. Do you see that little scrape there?
Sure.
It was a mole. I think the term is mole. I was in my early 20s, and I had it removed, and I had no qualms.
Yeah.
I went to a dermatologist. The dermatologist told me what it was.
Okay.
She recommended a plastic surgeon.
And by the way, not that you or I are like qualified to, I don't know.
Give opinions on
No,
dermatology.
not that. Just in any way, I don't know, just shit on a medical practitioner of any kind who dedicated, a lot of time to pursuing medicine. I mean, it's a lot more than I can say I've done in my life, and I'd safe to say I think maybe more than you've done in your life as well. Respect.
Yeah.
However, I
No
think they're.
taken. Yeah.
I do think that they are. I don't know. I do think that they're one of the kind of I don't know. It's one of the fields of medicine that I'm most
Weary
skeptical.
about.
weary of. Yeah, that I'm most on guard of. I think for
The
you to
dentists
want to
fuck around too.
Sorry.
Dentists fuck around a lot too.
I
They
think
scam
dentists
you.
are fun. I think dentists are fun. I find it's cool that they have like a really high suicide rate. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not good, but that means that they have demons. They think. I think dermatologists don't feel much. I've only handled a couple. I've only
Put some cream on it and shut the fuck up.
I just feel like I don't know. I don't like the idea that they would want to go into a field where they're regularly gonna have to just take a scalpel out and cut people without anesthesia. I find it a little creepy. I think you got to be a little bit cold and a little bit I don't know, a little bit.
Well, I'll be very clear with my
almost,
opinion. I never had any problems with people working in that field of work, so I can't say anything derogatory. It's that simple.
All right. So in order for
Great.
this not to drag on too long,
Yeah.
we're
Number
gonna go
3.
to the next item in the reminding people the list that Adam made. Favorite hobby /
I
pastime.
would change it to things that pleasure you. Favorite.
Let's not call it that. Let's avoid calling it that.
Embarrass me more because it was not appropriate.
I
to
think
say
I'm
what I call
saving
it.
you from embarrassment. We're not going to call things that to pleasure you. You
Let's go
fucking
with things
you
to
doofus.
do. Let's go with things to do,
Not that
Adam.
kind
So
of pleasure.
just to add to the list that makes sense, we're leaving from favorite car to rent,
Yeah.
and we're going to number 3. Favorite new movie within the last year. Very specific.
Since I drew the list, I figure I'm going to be the first to answer. The Planet of the Apes, the new movie is out. It's got a more advanced title than that, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
Charming. Okay. I don't think this one came out in the last year, but I don't watch a ton of new movies. The Banshees of Inisherin, 2022. Are we counting that? Have you seen it?
There's no right or wrong, you do the
Well,
best
no,
you
there
can to get
objectively
it out.
is within the last year. We have rules or we don't.
But they're loose. If you want to go back 2 years, that's fine.
Banshees of Inisherin is my favorite movie I've seen in the last couple of years. But I don't know, man. I think what was that one that came out? This was also over a year ago. What was that one that Leo DiCaprio was in on Netflix? Don't Look Up. That was actually kind of an annoying movie, but that was one of the ones that I think maybe was one of the most interesting ones in the last couple of years because it was a nice study on. I feel like, by the way, this is all. You're not the guy to talk about this with. I don't.
I'm more
Do you
into
even want? Do you want my
movies.
read? Do you want my read on?
I don't mind. I just don't know too much about Leo DiCaprio movies.
Listen, dude. I'll tell you what. How about this? Okay, fuck this, dude. Fuck this. I'll tell you what the worst movie that came out in the last year was. I don't. It's not engaging to say, oh, this was a good movie because it just sounds pretentious and stupid. I'll tell you what the worst movie to come out in the last year was. Maestro. Have you seen Maestro?
Rings a bell, but I don't know anything about it.
It's that Bradley Cooper movie. Okay, and the whole premise was he's a gay man. And he's a conductor, and he's married to a woman. But every time he does gay shit, his career falls apart. The premise is basically that. The problem with the movie was, it's one of the slowest movies I've ever seen in my life. I don't think I've never walked out of a fucking movie, probably ever. Till this one. 15 minutes in, walked out. I said, this is going nowhere. And I clocked it. I said, there's no way this is going anywhere interesting. I was watching it with my parents. And it's just, basically, dude, the whole premise of the movie is kind of, it's kind of like just chronicling his career and looking back at his regrets. But the way that they go about it is so weird. Like, it starts off in the 1950s, and they're talking like, the way that they're speaking to one another, right? The way that the characters are speaking to one another is almost like theater. You ever see like theater from like the 1950s where it's all dramatic and you ever see like a movie from the 50s? It's basically like theater on film where they talk about, hey now, baby, we're gonna do no one talks that way. They would overact. Movies in the 50s would be overacted, right?
Did you ever see the movie Bonnie and Clyde?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure there's a few versions of Bonnie and Clyde that have been made, but
that was one I saw when I was on house arrest because I couldn't leave home.
sure,
Yeah.
okay.
But I get your point. But you know what it's about, right? They did a whole bunch of armed robberies and the
I'm
cops said they
familiar
were
with.
shooting
I'm
them.
familiar with. Yeah.
Anyway,
with
but I get
their story.
To answer your question, yes, I do know what you're talking about. But go on.
But I did find it to be like a really. I found it to be so slow, and the way that really kind of, the thing that threw me for the biggest loop was the fact that when it started off, they were talking like it was the 1950s, but they were like in a movie in the 1950s. So basically, the movie starts off and it's like I'm out of it already because it's a movie made in 2024. Okay, set in the 50s, but it's not like a period piece where you'll go back and watch Boardwalk Empire, right? Which is taking place in like whatever, 1930s, 40s, right? During the Prohibition era, where they sound normal. They sound like us. They sound like regular badasses, right? But then this fucking movie taking place in the 50s is almost like deliberately overacted. It was weird. And
so your opinion on the movie is that, right?
Brutal. Yeah, but because it dealt with like, but I just feel like because it dealt with like, gay themes, because Bradley Cooper was in it, I don't know, it just received a ton of plaudits. But I don't know.
I wanted to share a movie that I also saw last year. Have you ever heard of a movie called Peppermint?
No, never heard of it.
So I'm not going to give it away, but just imagine, okay? At the beginning of the movie, a woman witnesses her daughter, like a drive-by shooting, right? Her own daughter.
Okay,
gets
dies
killed.
in a drive-by.
Yeah.
Okay.
She knows who did it. She saw the guy who did it.
Sure.
And when she's in court, the judge says, you need to go on medication, and she was like, what do they call it when you're struck out?
Here's what's gonna happen. This is crazy because I didn't realize I was gonna line up at the bordel. You guys are gonna continue. I'm gonna have you on the double cam,
Okay.
and you guys can keep going as long as you want. I'm gonna be back within an hour.
How do I stop the recording when this is all done?
You click record here. It stops being red, and then you click on the red button that's recording on the screen.
Okay.
So we may or may not see you, right? That's
No. If you guys wait, I'll be back in an hour. Wait. I gotta run.
Go. All right. See ya. All right.
Cool.
Adam, it's you and me. Is this where I get killed?
I'm not gonna lie to you, but
This is where I get killed. Is this all a setup?
I told you what time I gotta be home, so we might not be here that full hour. I'm just being
Right.
honest.
Right. That's
anyway,
that's a whole wrench in the gear.
This actually has a very interesting philosophical side. So she sees the guy who did the drive-by shooting and killed her own daughter, right? She confronts him in law, and Miss So-and-so, you
Okay.
can come forward and testify.
All right.
And the judge says, whatever her name is, I don't remember. You know when your testimony is struck down, whatever the term is, right?
Sure.
Inapplicable because she needed some medication and she was not on medication. She saw the guy kill his own daughter. He goes free. So she basically takes the long and tone hands, and there's a lot of violence after that. It's a really good movie.
Okay.
I recommend if anyone in the pub, our listeners would like to comment on it. It's called Peppermint. It takes place in LA.
Okay. And you enjoyed it.
I did. I liked it.
Okay.
Very unrealistic, but anyways.
There's-
So whatever. There's a whole bunch of movies, but
Sure.
have you seen the Fast and the Furious? It's true. We're talking about it in the last 2
I
years.
don't
but
watch the fast. I don't watch franchises. Just as a rule, I ain't doing it.
Did you see the?
I'm not watching. I'm
monkeys?
not watching Fast 7.
Have you seen Planet of the Apes? Anyone?
I've not. No.
Oh, okay.
I've not seen.
I just
Planet
saw it
of the-
recently, actually.
Okay.
I don't want to give it away, but basically, the whole genre of the movie is that there are
The genre or the
setting.
The plot.
whatever the
plot,
setting, the setting,
time, okay.
yeah. Human beings are being exploited by monkeys. Monkeys are smarter than humans. Can you believe it? If you get convicted for
Monkeys are smarter than
if
some
you go to
humans.
court,
I'm sure
your
there's-
panel of judges are. I'm not joking.
okay.
People are lower life forms. There's about 8 different versions. I only saw one, and it's very interesting. So
What do you think? What do you think would happen if a bunch of apes came and tried to trick you into? What if a bunch of apes came down and said, "Hey, Adam, we got this envelope for you to deliver with
You know what?
with this pizza, with this Chinese food,
my
whatever food you deliver."
imagination level just doesn't go that deep. Sorry, buddy.
Okay. What else do you have on the list? You want to pull
I
up
have to
your
go and
list
get
here?
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I'm a little, I'm being through. This is baptism by fire. I think it's safe to say. We got no third mic here. It's just you and me. Some guy I just met who spent the entire first half of the show talking about the rap sheet, saying I'm still a good person. So
So we did
forgive
number-
me if I'm a little thrown off here, but
No worries.
let's
I
try
hope
to
you can read that.
for the good people. Would you like me to read it? Number 4
Why
on the
not?
list here.
We did 4. No favorite movie was 3.
Favorite car to rent is there
Yeah.
again. Favorite new movie within last year we did.
Number 2.
Favorite
Remember, we have
city?
to do that, eh?
Right, number 2. Haha.
Yeah.
Favorite city in Canada to travel to.
Yeah. I'll volunteer my answer. I
Sure.
love Vancouver. It's warm all the time. You know, it's. I was there in the middle of January once, and it was like -7 degrees.
What were you
So,
doing there? On the run?
Vacation.
Okay. I've
seen quite a number of cities in Canada, so
I'm ashamed to say I've not. Yeah, I've never been west of Toronto. Maybe at some point, but I can't say I feel like I'm missing out on much. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't feel this like strong pull to go to Edmonton.
no offense, but you are missing a lot. Well, it's just a perception thing. I don't know. Okay, well, Edmonton's in Alberta, as you know, and I like Alberta because it's like the Canadian version of Texas. You know, it's
Sure.
cowboy town. You know,
My favorite town to visit is You know, this is going to sound like a really trash answer, but I like the fact that in Toronto they've got all the chains. I like that they've got the steakhouse chains.
No, that's cool.
I'm a fan of the American chains that come to Toronto first. I know a lot of people there, so
Cool.
yeah, I enjoy Toronto. I feel like Toronto gets me a little more. I feel like if I go anywhere else, if I go to Ottawa, I feel like they're a little below me almost.
Right.
I feel like they're a too small town. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the word philosophical. Let me add a philosophical aspect. Toronto and Vancouver are the two Canadian cities that try to be American. You know, that look like that imitate the American style. You know, very capitalist.
Sure.
So I was gonna say, if you like Toronto, I imagine it might stand to reason you like capitalism. You know,
What do we got last on the list here then? What's number 5?
Number 1. I think we go down, right? We go 5 to 4, 3. Now this is number 1.
This is the final one.
Yeah,
number
yeah.
5, number 1, whichever. Sorry. Okay, sure.
Well, favorite restaurant.
You want to? Are we going chains only?
Doesn't matter.
What's your favorite restaurant?
There's a few. I like Pizza Hut.
You like Pizza Hut? That's your favorite restaurant?
Wow. I didn't specify low end or high end. In the low end, in the low to medium.
How about like all the restaurants everywhere in the world? Like every restaurant you've ever been to, like every restaurant you've ever eaten at. Pizza Hut still makes it into
that I can afford.
Sure. Okay. Well, no. That's all right. That's all right. That's fair. But if you had to get taken anywhere, it wouldn't be Pizza Hut.
No. Okay. Hold on. What's that place that they burnt down in Complexe des Jardins? There's a high-end restaurant. I forget what it's called. And there's another one on Jean Talon de Carré.
Chuck E. Cheese?
No. It's
Is it a real high-end restaurant? I don't know.
I forgot the name of it. But
Okay. That one. That's your favorite restaurant. The one that burned down.
they replaced it. But
Okay.
okay. Do you ever go to Jean Talon de Carré?
I've been before. Yeah.
It's not far from the Orange Julep. They have. I can't remember the name of it. I honestly can't. But you'll know what
It's a local restaurant. Ribbon Reef?
No. It's in that new strip mall that they built.
Okay.
Anyway.
People take you there once in a while and you've come to enjoy
I've been
it?
there once.
All right. You went once, and that was it. It was enough to say, this is my favorite place.
I'd like to go off, but I can't afford those kind of steaks that they
That's
have.
fair. Okay, well, how about this?
Arahova is another place I like.
Sure. What else do you like? Tell me your favorite. This feels like.
Well, listen,
Adam. This feels like an interaction with like a second grader. You're like, I like Pizza Hut. I like this restaurant.
Wow.
I like that. You're just saying your favorite food.
When my father was still alive, he would take me off into restaurants. But
Okay.
he passed away 6 years ago, so
Okay.
I can't really.
Okay. So I'm sorry to hear that.
Appreciate it. Okay, fine. I'll give you a warning in advance and say that these are not high-end places. But I don't know if you ever heard of Buffet Kieran, the Chinese place.
No, I'm not a Chinese buffet guy.
Okay.
Not a Chinese buffet guy.
There's so many. Chez Lien, I don't know if you ever heard of that. It's a Vietnamese restaurant.
I've not. No. You're a man of culture. You're a man of culture.
Giorgio's, well, they're not around, but I don't know if you remember them.
Oh, not familiar. No.
Yeah. It was like in the 90s, so.
Yeah, I was.
You were young.
Yeah, I was
Just barely born.
barely born. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, look, I'll say my favorite. You say pizza. I was gonna say Milos. That's my favorite fucking restaurant anywhere in the world. That's the chain that I'll try to.
I've heard of it, but I can't place it.
Okay.
Where is there one?
There's one on Park Ave in Montreal. It's global. They opened one in Greece, in Athens. They opened one in Miami, in New York, in London. I'm on a mission with my girlfriend to go to as many of them as possible.
How many are there in Montreal?
There's one. We've been to the one in Montreal. We've been to the one in New York. We've been to the one in
Nice.
London. We've been to the one in Miami. We were in Athens, and it was closed for renovations, and that was very upsetting to us, because we're probably, Athens isn't exactly, unless you have family in Greece, it's not exactly one of the cities that you'll just accidentally wind up in and say, hey, we're in Athens, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a little further east than I tend to stray. So
For sure.
So for me, Milos. For you, Pizza Hut.
Oh, I got one. It's not called that anymore. Do you remember Eastside Mario's?
I'm familiar.
Okay. It's not called that anymore. It's on Cover 2, if you know where Plus 2 is.
I do.
It's called.
I'm more of a Milos man than
Okay.
an Eastside Mario.
Anyways, I forgot the name, but people will
But I'm
know.
not a snob. I like Marvin's also. You okay? Do you know
I've heard
Marvin's?
of it, but I don't know anything about it.
In parc-ex.
I've heard of it.
I might go there tonight, actually,
Oh,
after this gets wrapped up. Now that I'm saying it out loud. Now that I'm saying it, we might have to take you there. They have taxidermied like animals. strewn about the walls. It's a peculiar cultural experience.
Speaking of Rick, Kazagrek is a place I like.
You're big into chains, huh? You're big into very low end chains. Casa Grec is one of my least favorite restaurants.
I don't eat too
I
much.
have been to them. Usually I'll go, to one in Montreal North where cousins of mine live, and I'll sit among the Haitians at Casa Grec, and I'll try to choke down
I didn't know there was one there. I know there's one in LaSalle.
You like Casa Grec?
The one in LaSalle, I know.
You like it? You go there and you're happy? God bless you. No, but God bless you.
Listen, I'm not relegated to one style, Again, this is low end, but I like Thai Express. I like Asian food. I like Greek food. I like, I like Amir. I never suggested restaurants per se. Places, places that eat food that appeals to me, that caters to my needs.
Okay, here's what I'd like to do. Now, if this is all right with you. Okay, since it's just you and me here now, it's just you and I speaking our sweet dulcet tones into the, into the ears of the listeners, wherever they may be. Pantelis is not here to modulate anymore, so
nor is anyone else.
That's true. You could kill me right now and no one will ever know. You could cut the cameras. That may be what happens here, by the way. I mean, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it quickly. Your curfew's in an hour.
I gotta share a funny laugh. There was a fan or a listener that shared a comment. He says, "Are you Adam? I wouldn't be surprised if you had Guido in your basement."
Yeah. Lest I become. Lest the same fate befall me. I hope to God I don't meet my maker tonight and be thrown bound, tied up under the floorboards with Guido Grasso, where he's disappeared to for the past two of Montreal's least prolific podcasters, dead under Adam's floorboards. So I would like to take the reins here and say,
shoot.
Look, this entire list of superlatives has been a little all over the place. Can we zero in on restaurants? I like that angle. I like the restaurants angle. Can you do that for me? Okay. So
there's Mike's.
Mike's. Okay, hang on. That's another. Mike's is a crazy thing. Like Mike's, the pizza restaurant or the pasta place that French Canadian people like to
I don't
go
know
to?
if they're still on Crescent and St. Catherine.
Are you French Canadian?
No.
What's your background?
Czech Republic. My parents.
You're Czech.
Yes,
Both
I am.
parents Czech.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm born here, but that's my ancestral lineage. Yep.
You have any good Eastern European restaurants that you'll go to? Don't say
There's
Snash
a
Cafe.
Polish restaurant.
Not Snash Cafe. Not Snash Cafe. No,
I haven't gone to that many Polish restaurants.
That's the worst restaurant I've ever been to in the last 3 years that I could think of. Stash
Polish
Cafe. You
restaurant I've
enjoy
ever been to.
Stash Cafe?
I was only there once. I don't remember.
Did you enjoy it?
I don't remember. Listen, why would I make up a story? If you would ask me about Italian restaurants, whatever, I've only been to one Polish restaurant, and I don't remember.
I asked Eastern European, and you went with Stash.
Right.
So you enjoy it.
I've never been to a restaurant, so that's the only.
No bueno. Not a very good. I call it Snash. Yeah, Snash Cafe.
I can't comment.
But it's called Stash. Yeah, it's no bueno.
Oh, Gibby's. I've never been to Gibby, but that's a place that.
Gibby's is a good one. If you can finagle away into Gibby's, that. By the way, here's a word of advice to you. Okay.
Sorry to Casual Sport as well is another place.
Casual Sport. That's at the lower. That's at the lower end. We're really, this is a real roller coaster of restaurants that we're listing here. I mean, Gibby's, Casual Sport. Stay with me, okay? If anyone ever tries to charm you, okay, and say, Adam, I'm a very wealthy individual. I'd like for you to help me out with X, Y, or Z. A good way to corroborate whether they're a person of real wealth is to ask them to take you to Gibby's and see if they flinch. So if you've not been to Gibby's, I think if you're ever in a position where you think someone might be manipulating you, you say, hey, man, take me to Gibby's. You want to go to Gibby's? If he says, hey, man, what are we going to... We're going to go there together. You're going to pay for you. You're going to pay for... I'm going to pay for him. You say, no. I would like it if you could take me to Gibby's. Just if he asks you a favor, say... Is there a Gibby's steak dinner out of it? Is there a steak in it for me? Just float it. Float it with him and then demand that he take you there first. Maybe flip the script. Maybe screw someone over for a change yourself instead of getting screwed over. Pull the rug out from under him after he takes you to Gibby's. If he goes through with it and takes you there, you might at least have to consider whether or not he has any money. There's a chance he does. He could still be a poser. But, that's just you got to do your research.
You got a good imagination. I'm not going to lie to you.
You got to do your due diligence, buddy.
Yeah.
All right? You got to check in with people and see if, their stories check out.
I just thought of another restaurant. You got to understand.
We're far beyond 5 now.
Mexicali Roses.
Not familiar. The only ones I'm familiar with are chains, which I will actively avoid.
Even you're not crazy about Arahova?
I've been before. Arahova is one that I now am familiar with. You finally hit one on the head that I probably would not be opposed to going to eat if I had to go eat somewhere. But Mike's, Casual Spar, what else did you say? Fucking Scores?
No, but that one too. I like.
That one you like. All right, there we go. It's a very
I don't use the first criteria of where I go to. Is it a franchise or not? I just go because I like it. You know.
You're a man of simple taste. Any higher end ones that you're a fan of?
La Belle à la Boeuf. I don't know if you've ever been.
It's not higher end, but that's a restaurant.
Whatever,
sure.
You know.
So you like chains? You're a chain guy.
What did I say about 5 seconds ago?
You work for a chain? You work for a chain currently?
No.
It's a mom and pop? Would I know it? You want to write it down for me?
I do work for a chain, but I'd rather not say it.
Can you write it down privately for me? I won't repeat it. Would you prefer to keep that info?
Can I tell you after?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll tell you after.
All right, no problem. Does anyone else? I mean, I don't know. Should we keep it Montreal centric here? Because how many of the people that listen to this are Montreal based? Do you have any clue?
Not a clue.
Not a clue. You don't know about.
Listen, I'll gladly explain it.
You're just like a designated hitter. You show up, you do your job, and you don't ask questions.
I'm not giving anything private, and I'll explain. The guy who got me the job at that place is a listener, so I'm respecting his privacy. By not saying
no problem. The reason I'm asking if it's a very Montreal centric listenership is because if I'm given a list of restaurants that I like, I might, if it's not very Montreal based, I might skew away from only local ones and try to give, I don't know, maybe global chains or whatever.
Right.
The best restaurant, arguably the best. Listen, here's what you got to do, man. If you're not going to spend a lot of money, you got to stop going to chains, Adam. Life's short, okay? You got to look for hole in the wall places. You need to look for little dive places that are not expensive, but that are not chains. You got to look for like
another chain, La Belle Province.
Well, you know what? That's fair. That's one of everyone's.
It depends which one you go to, which dictates if it's good or not.
I suppose, but it is a go-to. It is an institution of sorts. Yep. That's fair. But I will say you got to dig for the little hole-in-the-wall places that no one really knows about unless you're from that neighborhood. Okay? You mentioned that you were in the West Island once. I don't know if you live there or go back there frequently.
Briefly.
Okay. There's a place in Roxborough called Jeanette's off of Gouin.
I don't know.
It is the best Caribbean food you will ever fucking probably have in the city, but you got to go at a very specific set of hours. And I'm going to give you a piece of advice here. If you're going to an immigrant restaurant...
Sorry to cut you off, but I get all these names in that before I forget them. Okay. They close down, as I'm sure you know.
Sure, right? I'm aware. Yeah, we're all very chewed up about it in the West Island. Yeah. Barbie Barn shutting down. Listen, if you want to gauge whether a place is worth going to, you need to check to see if they have a website. If they don't, that's a bonus.
You ever heard of B&M, by the way? B&M restaurant?
I do, yeah. I actually am familiar with it. That's the first. All right, we're agreeing on one. That's good. Good brunch. There we go.
Yeah. There's two of them. Did you know?
I did not.
One is on Sherbrooke and one is on Monkland, I think. Yeah, in NDG.
I've been to a B&M establishment. It was at neither of those places, but yeah, I've been before. Adam, I gotta say, this is fun firsthand to kind of gauge, what you're like in person. You're not doing a bit.
Shock number one, you didn't know what the hell you were doing here, and shock number two, it's just us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I wanted to share something with you. It's been on my mind.
Sure.
It's normal. If you don't like the subject matter, I can change it. But
nothing.
Don't worry.
Nothing really offends me. So
unfortunately, it's when something's out there, right? Well, even if I don't say it, it's kind of understood, right? So I got scammed, and I'll explain to you what happened. Okay? Are you on any social media like Facebook, Twitter, whatever?
Yes.
Okay. I personally, I know Pantelis and I had an argument about this, and I agree with his point of view, but only to a certain extent. Sadly, he doesn't agree with my point of view. Now, just work with me, okay? I got scammed because I was befriended by some woman from Los Angeles, right? I don't know if you know anything about Bitcoin. You've heard of the idea, right?
Yes.
Some crazy amount, like you invest $300 and that $300 will grow to $2,000 in 2 weeks.
Can I suggest something?
Shoot.
I don't know if Pantelis would be open to this, but I think we should lock you in this studio just to protect you from yourself. Your problem, I think, is when you start interacting with the
I closed all
world.
my accounts, so I don't have to worry about that.
I fear you might have too much of a childlike sense of wonder, and I think you might be at risk of getting taken advantage of again and again and again. And this will be a common theme. With
No one's ever
you
spoken. No one's ever used those words in terms of the way they express themselves to me.
I think we should lock you in the studio for your own safety, and we got to police all of your activity. Like I don't know if they have the bandwidth to do it. I'm not suggesting they keep you as I'm not suggesting they keep you as a pet, but kind of like that. You know what I mean, buddy?
Yeah. Anyway, look, I am convinced, okay?
No, but for your own safety. But you're talking about Bitcoin in LA, and there's no woman in LA.
So hold on.
It was an Indian man in Bangalore.
More than likely, or Pakistan, whatever. Okay, but
sure.
Just work with me here, okay? So this woman befriended me, and
But are you confident that she was a woman, Adam? I don't want to make fun of you here. You're clearly a vulnerable individual.
Is appropriate. Is a pretty appropriate description. So hold on. I'm not worried about her.
Yeah.
I'm worried about her telling me, listen, there's this big wave. Actually, there were about 3 women who told me about it, but I didn't want to give in until this woman said, listen, you want to make a lot of money, follow my track. She introduced me to this other woman. I don't know what the amount is, but this is what happened, okay?
Where'd you meet them?
Facebook.
They reached out to you on Facebook?
Yeah. Let me finish the story. This woman said, use your credit card to take an advance of about $1,000. It's not that much. That $1,000 is going to grow into 4 or 5. Here, work with me, okay? I took that $1,000 on my credit card. The woman said, give me your credit card information. She paid that money back. So I thought I would won in 2 different ways. I had a Bitcoin investment and my credit card was paid. So it was like I gave the money for free. Listen to this. A month later, I get a call from my credit card saying that it was paid by a fake check or a fraudulent check, and now we are reversing that $1,000.
You understand that this is a common theme with you, right? Being used as an accessory
I swear
for
to you,
criminal
I'm 45
enterprise.
years old. That has never happened. My credit card getting defrauded, never.
Adam, it happens every time you engage in a new relationship with a new person. You got to keep it to people that are vouched for.
Okay, but hold on. You're gonna understand that what I'm telling you makes sense if you let me finish where I'm going with this. Okay. I cut my ties with those people. I closed all my Facebook. I only had one Facebook. I closed it. Yeah. And now I'm staying the fuck away from that shit. Now, just bear with me, okay? There is a guy that made about 200 podcasts. His name is Pleasant Green. He's a real person. He doesn't give his real name. But
well, that's always good, by the way. That's the first level. We got to make sure it's a real person.
Yeah. He lives in Utah.
Are you sure hang on. Are you sure he's a real person? Because the fact that you would even just come to me and say, and I'm trying to make you understand.
Watch his podcast. You'll see he's real.
Okay.
He helps with victims.
But how do you know you're speaking to this person? Because when you start off with, this is a very low bar, by the way, because most people are real people. So when you say, but there's this podcaster, he's a real person. That is a little bit of a alarm bells are going off for me already.
You can tell from the way he does his podcasts. He even tells you protect your data when you're going on the internet, when you're surfing on the internet with your phone. There's a company called Guardio. It tells you when you get a link, a text message. It tells you, is it okay to click on the link? Is it not okay? There's ways to prevent scams. So I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but work with me here, okay?
I'm working with you.
I just wanted to let you know that from my personal experiences, I am not going on social media ever again. Now, let me ask you a question, okay?
By the way, that's probably for the best. You have no reason to be on social media.
I want to hear one of 3 answers from you, please. I agree with you, I disagree with you, or my opinion is somewhere in the middle. It's a bit of both, okay? I told Pantelis, and here's what Pantelis said. Pantelis says, it's like saying, oh, there was some taxi driver that raped a woman because she fell asleep in his car. Taxis are bad, right? You can't judge one taxi driver and his behavior. You can't make a blanket statement.
What are you asking?
I'm almost there.
Yeah.
Pantelis, in using his own words, said, Adam, your reasoning is total bullshit. I don't like Facebook. Now, just tell me if you're willing to concede this one point. He used McDonald's. He says, do you think McDonald's has a profile on 1 billion customers that enter their restaurant? Of course not. But I said Facebook and McDonald's are different in the way that you interact with them. The only way McDonald's can scam you is if they feed you food and you get food poisoning, right? There's one mandate that McDonald's has.
So what are you asking me whether I agree or disagree with?
So I'm using an analogy, okay? Now that you've heard the analogy. Yeah. Does my reasoning make a lot of sense, some sense, or no sense when I say the reason why I personally don't like social media is because I'm going on one more tangent and then you can answer the question. McDonald's, if you meet somebody at McDonald's, let's say, and they become your friend, whatever, okay? You chat with them, they become your friend. You see them face to face and you get to gauge, is this a person that's out to scam me or not? Facebook, you meet somebody, you don't have a clue. They could tell you they own 10 companies, they have a sports car, they could tell you a whole bunch of lies and you can't verify, right? Do you agree with me that Facebook per se is an area where the chances of being scammed are higher than when you meet someone face to face? Yes, no, or maybe. You understand what I'm saying? Facebook being the medium where you meet people is a lot higher of a risk. It poses a much higher risk.
Okay.
Yes,
My answer
no,
to your
or
question.
maybe.
My answer is somewhat.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to say.
No
Dispute.
But buddy, people are out to scam you everywhere all the time. It's just I think a higher proportion of the interactions that you will have with people on Facebook will be people reaching out to you for nefarious reasons.
Exactly.
I feel like we should probably take
if
this
your
off.
answer is somewhere in the middle,
pod.
cool.
Well,
It doesn't matter. I look.
here's my answer. Okay.
Go ahead.
Again, your question is.
Do you like my reasoning? That it is not a good idea to go on Facebook for said reason. You're increasing your level of being exposed.
Adam, I don't have that problem when I go on Facebook. I'm able to discern these things, all right? I tell my grandfather, don't pick up the phone anymore, okay? Grandfather scammers are out there. I tell him, don't pick up the fucking phone. If somebody brings up money on the phone, you hang up immediately. I've talked about this on my pod recently in the past couple of months, okay? If someone calls you and says they're in trouble, call that person back, okay? Because I don't trust that my grandfather has the ability to gauge. So in your case, I would say stay off of Facebook because you are going to be getting scammed on Facebook constantly, all the time. Because that's just your personality.
Fair enough.
I don't think you have the ability. I think you have the ability to understand what I'm saying here.
I do.
But I don't. But what I don't think you have the ability to do is discern.
Right.
A
person who just genuinely wants to be a friend versus a potential
nobody
scammer.
wants to just be your friend.
Right.
Okay. Nobody wants. There are other Adams out there that might want, that might want some kind of level of human connection. That might reach out. The odds that person is reaching out to you and they are a stranger in another city is zero. Okay.
Let me tell you a story.
Meet people, but listen. I'm not even kidding you. It's almost safer that you. And I know this is incredibly ironic because somebody obviously viewed you as a vulnerable individual. And and use you as an accessory to a crime. But it's almost safer that you meet people in bars next to gas stations.
Fine.
Okay? It's better that you... Listen, I know you're batting like 0 for 1 with that whole thing, but it's almost safer that you meet people...
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not saying
one crime that you've been committed of. I don't know how many times you've had close run-ins.
I got scammed once on the internet, and I got scammed once by this guy. So it's not like I have a whole rap sheet, you know?
You got to be a little more paranoid, okay? Yeah. And you know what's funny? I think a lot of people... that might be a little bit off the a little far off on one side of the spectrum of human psychology, right? They tend to be a little bit more paranoid. I think that's one thing that you actually lack is you almost have like this childlike sense of naivete, and you need to guard against it. You need to be more paranoid. You need to be more skeptical, buddy, okay?
Weary is another word, but yeah.
Weary of everything. You need to be weary of me right now. You got to think that I'm coming out. No, listen.
You're going to do to me what you're worried about I'll do to you.
Sure. You got to be wary of me right now. You got to, like, if I asked you for help after this, you got to just say no.
I'd ask Pantelis' permission first because he knows you, right?
You got to be careful about who you trust.
No, I agree. We're on the same page here. So listen, I have a feeling in my interpretation, there is a certain amount, you are willing to concede a certain amount of what I said. Because of the bad experiences I had with Facebook, keep your account closed and just forget that.
In your case, yes.
Okay, cool.
I don't have that issue. I think most people have a greater ability to gauge this sort of thing. I think you might be a little bit more at risk. I think you got to be careful. You understand?
Yeah.
All right. Was this a good episode?
Absolutely.
You enjoyed yourself?
Definitely.
Had a good time, burned some steam up. Listen, you got to get back before curfew. Okay, we don't want to drag on too long here, but this was good. I appreciate you letting me come on your program.
Definitely.
Okay, this was cool.
Yeah.
And if we ever get a chance to do this again, we'll try to keep it a little bit more succinct. All right, we'll try to keep it a little bit more on one topic.
Definitely.
We agree?
Cool. So
all right. Cool.
I guess we can. I'll let you do the audio.
I'll press the off button. I don't know if there's outro music or whatever. People can people
Poseidon
follow
was
you?
here, then he'd be advertising. Okay, you can see me on all my Facebook, Instagram, whatever. But since we're not him, then we don't advertise, right?
Well, you're not on Facebook. We've established.
No. I'm talking about. Is there anything that you would like to add? I don't even know if you're allowed to advertise. I don't know. I'm
Sam Adamo. If you wish to follow me,
that was my question. Yeah.
my podcast is The Bordello. It's on YouTube and it's on all audio platforms. Please feel free to tune in if you're so inclined. If not, I'll see you next time. I'll catch you on the other side.
Out. That's what we're supposed to say at the end.
That's that'll be your thing. All right, Adam. It's been a real treat. This has been fascinating. I thank you for your time and thank you for your patience and for bearing with me as I kind of gauged the whole dynamic here. All right.
Thanks for your charm.
What do you say? Intellectuals.
Oh yeah, sorry. I took my headset off. Intellectuals out, and thank you for your charm.
There it is.